Well, hi, everybody. My name's Harry Helling. I'm the new executive director of the Birch Aquarium. And I worked here at Scripps some, 30 some odd years ago, and I worked for Chip. And I don't have this long, deep relationship that all of you have, although I have kept in touch with them all these years. I do want to share one memory that I didn't hear anybody else share, and that was when I was young. I was an undergraduate, and I think Chip gave me my very first break, actually. At least I think that's what it was, because I went through the interview process, and he had, I think there must have been 60 or 70 people who had applied for what was then called a Development Technician 3. That was a big deal for me back when I was 20 years old, and especially to work at Scripps, because I was so enamored with the idea of getting into oceanography. And so lo and behold, I get into the interview, and in the interview, we never talked about any of my qualifications. We never talked about anything about what we would do. We talked about the things that were of interest to me. It was anthropology. I was a budding artist. I was interested in math and science in many different ways. And lo and behold, I left there going, God, how is he ever going to hire me on that basis? Well, he hired me. And later I asked him, why on earth would you have hired me? I know I was the least qualified person of all the people that you interviewed. And he said to me, he said, well, you may have been the least qualified, but you were the most interesting. and so that started. Then I'll just switch to my very first day. My very first day, and I wasn't quite sure of my assignment, but some of you who know Chip will see this is very much in character. So he goes, okay, Rusty. They called me Rusty in those days. Rusty, let's go for a walk. And we went for a walk, and we went to. He goes, I want to show you the different shops around Scripps. So we went first to the one down the hill, the one where everybody wears a nice white suit and all the machinery is computerized, and he said, this is the one you don't get to work in. Then we went to two others that are very nice shops. He goes, you don't get to work in these either. Then we went to the shop in the hydraulics lab, and I still remember the blade impaled in the ceiling. He goes, this is the one you get to work in, and let me show you which project you're working on. He took me out to a 1942 Liberty lifeboat that he had bought at a surplus store, as well as a generator he got for next to nothing. He said, your assignment is, I want you to turn this into a buoy, because we're going to take that generator, we're going to generate enough power to test the conductivity of the seafloor crust. And so it was, that was my first job at Scripps. And it gave me a true lesson I've kept with me. I left Scripps to work in informal science, and I'm back at Scripps as the new director of the Birch Aquarium. But the lesson I learned is one of, as we heard before, persistence. This is somebody who obviously had a vision and was not going to let cost get in the way. And so here I was I worked for I think 3 or 4 months on that project and several others of his, but it really gave me a lesson to the inside of the old style oceanography. So influenced me for the rest of my life.